So this week we have an artist on the show. This young lady grew up in Western North Carolina, and the town of Canton is her hometown. And she's a three-time Josie Music Award winner, including the Josie Music Awards Vocalist of the Year in 2020. She has received numerous accolades and is currently promoting her latest album, Unleashed, and her hit song, Carolina, under the McKinley Records label. She's opened or performed with legends such as Randy Travis, Ronnie Millsap, Ronnie McDowell, T. Graham Brown, Diamond Rio, the Gatlin Brothers, T.G. Shepherd, Edwin McCain, Leona Williams, and even sang backup with some of the original members of Leonard Skinner. Her personal sound is a mix between traditional country, rap-y blues, and a southern rock flair to her voice. And finally, we've seen her perform live at Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White Gala in Clemson just a few weeks ago. So please welcome to the show, Miss Lee Newton. Lee, how are you doing today?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful, and I'm so glad to be here with you guys tonight.
We're glad to have you.
So, Lee, I'm going to tell you now, if you sing with Randy Travis, my grandmother up in heaven is looking down, and she's very jealous because she loved Randy Travis and had a picture of him in her kitchen. So when she was cooking, she could talk to him. So anyway.
That is so, awesome. Now, when I see him again, because it is coming up, I think that there's something in the works for me to do another show, possibly in the future. So I will tell him about that.
There you go.
Well,
that is grandma.
Yeah, she is smiling somewhere right now, I promise you. So what are you up to these days? What's going on with Lee Newton?
Wow, there's always so much going on. Right now, I just got through coming back from Illinois last weekend doing a show up there, and it was so awesome. That's the first time I'd ever went to Illinois. Did one for Keeping It Country. It was Country at the Station, at Penn Station in Arthur, Illinois. Super amazing place. So now getting ready. Going into October, I'm starting work on my new country album. This is at the very beginning, but getting ready to start going into the studio. I've got a duet that I'm getting ready to record with Danny Kinsey, another country artist, and then getting ready for the Josie Awards this year. I'm up for 8 nominations for the Josies, and plus getting to perform, which is going to be at the Grand Ole Opry House. So I just found out I get to close the show.
All right.
Oh, wow. That's a big deal. You ever been to the Grand Ole Opry, Bailey?
I have. I had an artist that had invited me to come backstage. It was the first time I'd ever went to the Grand Ole Opry, and it was the day that Carolina was released. So it made it even more special. And then I've been a couple more times and got to take Little Cash with me, and he got to go and stand in the circle. But this will be the first time ever performing there. Like I said, it'll be for the JMA Awards. But hopefully maybe this will open the Opry's eyes, and maybe they'll invite me back for the Grand Ole Opry show.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. That's extremely cool. Speaking, we met you through Wayne Buckingham's Orange and White fundraiser in Clemson. So tell the folks, how did you get hooked up with Buck? How do you know him? How did that start?
I released my EP album, which was Undamaged, and it had a song called Strength of a Woman on there. And through Music Dreams USA, they had done an interview with me, one of the first ones that had interviewed me, and they were really good friends with Wayne. Well, they set me up with Wayne to do an interview, and it's like me and Wayne just clicked. He was like my brother from another mother, and he has been since then. But he fell in love with Strength of a Woman, the song. And every year I've went, he's asked me to come. I missed the first year, but I've been there. This was the 3rd year that I've been, and it just feels so great. And the thing about it is, and I'm sure you know this, I mean, I'm a Bama fan. Bama, and they have literally from day one, they knew that I was a Bama fan, but everybody from Clemson has just kind of embraced me and been so sweet. And I swear, like, I found myself putting on my Clemson shirt the other day, like walking around the house. I mean, but it's all for a good cause, and that just goes to show you at the end of the day when you're raising money to help people, it don't matter what side you're on. Everybody comes together and you work together and you become family. So that's what Wayne is to me, and everybody else that I've met through Clemson. They've just become a family.
Right. So I was thinking, welcome to the family. So
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So had you ever been to Clemson before, or it was just for the events?
Nope, I had never been to Clemson. The first year that I went, I'll never forget. I was like, okay, so I'm going to have to, I've got to wear a Clemson shirt. I feel like I need to do that, to show respect. And so I remember buying my first Clemson shirt and running into Grayson Marshall right outside of the door. And we walked up there to the autograph signing, and, him and Harold, just so nice to me, and Cliff Ellis, and then of course Coach Danny. We talked the whole Alabama football, and it's just been a great experience from day one. So
very cool. Well, being a Bama fan, do you get to go see do you go to their games ever?
Well,
or any
and
of their
I'll be
sporting events?
honest, with everything that I've had going on, when my older kids were a little bit smaller, I would take them to Tuscaloosa and we'd go to the games, and just, I fell in love with the history and just Coach Saban and just the whole history of, Alabama and Bear Bryant and just, all of that. And my kids loved it. And actually my older daughter, when she was going to college, her first acceptance letter was to Alabama. She ended up going to Mississippi State. She just graduated there last year. So
congrats.
Didn't get no Alabama in there, but
Well, it's like Godfather 1 and 2 movies. You mentioned Bear Bryant and Nick Saban all in the same sentence.
Right.
I know.
Right.
I mean, and it's, and like I said, years and years and years ago, I was in my teenage years, I didn't know anything about football, or I didn't even know what I was watching, and I remember somebody had given me a Tennessee hat. And I put that Tennessee hat on, not knowing a lot about football. And when I was with my ex-husband, he grabbed the hat and threw it out the window and said, "No, if you're going to be me, you're going to be at Alabama." And I have just ever since. But I learned the game and I learned the history, and I loved watching all the other teams play. And there's just a lot of respect. Now, there's a few teams I just be like. But there's some like Clemson, Georgia. I just have a mad respect when we play them. So it's just a respect thing.
Very good.
Well, so clearly Alabama's your team. Do you live in Nashville now?
I don't. I live in Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I live in Carolina. I've always lived in Carolina, but I do go back and forth to Nashville a lot.
Okay.
Just between all the traveling and then, a lot of the interviews, some of the TV shows that I have been on, which that's getting ready to come out. I just filmed a huge thing for season 5 of Today's Nashville with Terry Squire, and it's on one of the gospel networks that airs in Nashville. And so I'm so proud of it because I got to talk about the new album, my new gospel album.
Okay.
But I got to tell my story and my journey, which was really great. And the gospel album, I've got duets on there with like Joe Bonzo with the Oak Ridge Boys, and Rhonda Vincent, Queen of Bluegrass, and T. Graham Brown, and Deborah Allen, and Tony Jackson. I'm very proud of it, and it's actually been submitted by a Grammy member to hopefully we'll know in October if it got on the first ballot of the Grammys. So
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Fingers crossed. So speaking, kind of looping back to the Orange and White Gala, is that something that you think you'll be a part of year in and year out?
Yes,
Hopefully,
most definitely. And I talked to Coach Buckingham, and he was saying, he wanted me to embrace it like, he's embraced it like his baby. He wants me to do and start maybe even bringing in some of my friends and making the music side of it a little bit more bigger as far as bringing some of the country artists and stuff in.
Nice. Yeah, we hope to keep being a part of it and get our production a little bit, better. That was like almost like a trial run.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I loved the fact of the gala and just everything was just. It was a hot day.
It was hot.
Woo!
Mm.
It was hot.
It was hot.
It was so good.
It was good.
It was great.
So where can folks that watch or listen to us, where can they find your music?
Well, you can go to my website, Lee Newton Official, and it's Lee, L-E-E, Newton Official.com. And, or you can find me on any social. I mean, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. If you look at me, you better hit the subscribe or the follow and tell me that you saw me on here, and I'll follow you back. I love interacting with everybody.
Cool.
That's
I
right.
used to be able to do a lot more, but it has gotten a lot on the road a lot. It's kind of hard to answer everybody back.
It's tough. Obviously, I found you on Spotify, and it's just good stuff. So everybody listening needs
Thank
to
you.
find some Lee Newton, and we'll post stuff when we post the show and post this interview. And it's an easy search on Spotify, just like Fun Fans is an easy search on Spotify.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all there together. So, Lee, we appreciate your time. We appreciate you being on. It's nice to meet you, and we look forward to all of your future accomplishments here in the near future.
Thank you so much. And be looking for the new album. I will have a Christmas album this year. And also we'll be doing, and I got to put this really quick. Me and my husband, he's an artist as well. We are doing with, I know you know Grover Schenkel. We're doing a huge first concert in Statesville. We're just getting ready to announce it, but it's a really big concert. It's the first ever concert that we're doing together. So I'm pretty excited. That'll be in November 18th. So
okay,
sounds good. Awesome. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being on.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. See you
Good luck.
guys.